hear from Doug unless he shows up. So why don't we go ahead and do the approval of the minutes? Anybody want a motion that we accept the minutes from last time?
I make a motion.
Nobody?
Second.
I make a motion. We accept the minutes.
Second it.
Okay. All right, good.
Second.
Okay. Gordon, the big two things I wanted to discuss today was to discuss the webcam and make a decision to go ahead and move forward so we can get it installed for the fall and hopefully up on the website. Gordon and his crew, meaning Ed and Ed Style and Ed Morley. And was there anybody else on your crew there, Gordon?
No, there's
All right.
no Bob.
Give us the thumbnail. I know we've talked about this several times.
That's what I figured. I
Gordon
told him
sent
that I
out-
thought you were camping and that you might not be able to join us.
We ready?
Yeah, go ahead, Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
Fill
Oh,
us in.
is he? Oh, that's right. I forgot. God, he was.
Okay, yeah, we did meet two ads met, and what we did basically discussed is
Okay.
what would be
But I'm
the
just glad you're okay. And we will carry on.
requirements of the
If we can.
webcam. And we agreed that the first requirement was that the site of the camera has to have internet service, has to have the ability to have it. So, you know, we just can't place the webcam anywhere. It has to have internet service. And with that in mind, we looked at different locations, and the only location that we have the internet service, and the location was the clubhouse. So we thought the clubhouse in this case would allow us to use their internet service. The issue is what kind of view will we have? Would it be acceptable? And Ed Steele, he would not. I asked Ed if he'd climb on top of the roof to give us his opinion on the view, but he shook his head. He wouldn't go on top of the roof. So I know Ed. So Ed Morley asked Steve to get a drone, and Steve did take drone views from the roof. And I sent those to you. I don't have you a chance to look at it. Some of them wasn't as happy with because I guess we could see part of the roof line. But that's it. And I hope you guys had a chance to look at it. I sent those views onto the ResortCom sales rep, and he thought they were good and they could cop out the roof. But I wanted to get your opinion on it, and if there was any other locations you'd like in terms of views. Before
Well, I was impressed.
proceed, you know.
You were able to-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was impressed that you were able to give us a view from the top of the club, and you just explained how by the drone, so that was great. Well, it sounds like, unless anybody else has any other suggestions, that the club is the place because internet, electricity, the views were good. If they could crop out a little bit of the peaks of the roof, and even have the suggestion of it scanning and moving and zooming, I think that gives us everything that we need. And Gordon says also that the city workers, it's not hard to install, so we can save some money by having the city staff install it. Is that right, Gordon?
That is correct. During last meeting, I believe Jim Curtis suggested we could take it. They have the city has a one of these lifts, and maybe that could help too in terms of one of these trucks has a lift that get on the roof. Jim, any comments on that? Jim Curtis?
Not on that subject. As I was getting into the meeting, I noticed that you had sent the email, and I haven't looked at it yet. But I'm expecting great things out of it.
Okay.
Out of the
So
drone
having
footage.
the system,
The city does have a new lift truck, Gordon.
yes. Okay, yes, and that could be help in installation of it. Okay. unless you have some other locations, it appears that location's okay then with you. Any other comments on that? So before we move on.
Ed Stiles got his hand raised.
It's my understanding, Gordon, from our meeting and the information that was presented by the camera company, we do not need electricity brought to that site. We only need internet access through a Cat5 line that would run down to the router in Sane's office.
That is correct.
Okay, so therefore, the only thing we would need for mounting would be some kind of a steel post in the corner of that fence up on the roof to hold the camera itself and hold it steady against that post so that the wind and the storms would not blow it down.
That is correct. Yes,
Okay, want to make sure we hear everything that's out there about that installation.
right, right.
All right, is there anything else anybody needs to know or suggestions they want to make?
Yeah.
I
in
just want to
terms of-
confirm what I'm hearing is that we don't need power to it. We just need to be able to, are we going to have to run a hardwire or is it going to be
The hard
Bluetooth to the
Cat5
camera?
line,
Okay.
hardwire Cat5,
Yes.
run all the way up there. Cat6 if you have it. I mean,
If that's
whatever
the
is
case,
laying
I
around.
would recommend that we actually hire somebody to come in and install it. My guys are not electricians or not be able to do that. When we make contact with the company that we're buying the camera from, we might need to see if they have a low voltage person in the area that could come out and install it.
You have to be
recommend
low
it.
voltage
I'll recommend
certified
that.
to be able to put that in.
Yeah, because our guys can't do that. Mm-mm. They can mount it, but they
Essentially-
can't connect everything. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to mess up the
essentially,
camera
there's-
and, not get it functioning properly. So that's why I would recommend that.
Plus, to make a hole through a wall, we'll have to
Right.
put fireproof insulation around that, fireproof caulking around it to guarantee that the fire status of the insurance for the club, it stays in place.
Yes, that's why I'm saying if you get a low voltage person, they'll know to do all that. So yeah, definitely. Gordon, if we can find out what someone will charge us to install that, I would recommend we get that so we'll know. Like I said, we do have the new bucket truck, but as far as doing the actual installation of the wiring, we don't have the capability to do that.
Also, I
Okay.
think that we need to get approval from the club board to do this.
Yes,
Initial
writing.
discussion with Ed Morley, yes, probably the location that it has been approved, the board has approved it, but initial discussion, but I agree where it would be and so forth, get into the specifics, yes.
Yeah. And who would control this camera?
Well, the control is from the server. Essentially, as they say, once we mount it and we attach the cable to the camera, it's taken over by the server. In this case, the webcam company. They're the ones that do all, in their instructions say, mount it, connect the cable to the camera, and then they take it over from their location.
So can we
No,
use the video, Gordon, on our city website? Do they control
Yes.
that also?
You're working in the details. That was the second part of the, yes,
Okay.
they said we could go into the various websites. I said we might have 3 websites and didn't think that would be an issue. Yes, in terms of putting it on the website. The next part of the discussion was, of course, we wanted to have wanted to put the weather, because their weather is from the national weather, which is not local weather. And we've been looking at how do we get the local weather in terms of temperature. And of course, there was some discussion that the second part of this, that Zane does have a local weather station. Unfortunately, the weather station is on top of the club roof. And so it does not give you an accurate temperature of the area. We're trying, it's 10, 12 degrees higher because it's on top of the roof. And so using that as a weather underground is not, we can't do that. So we're looking at how do we put the weather in terms of accurate temperature in terms of course, in terms of report, in terms of the live streaming. Does that make sense? So Weather Underground, I'm sorry. The
Gordon?
Weather Underground
Go ahead.
has got if you look under Weather Underground, which would be a simple, would be type in Sky Valley, or you type in Dillard. They're both the same. Then, of course, the other issue is that we might go ahead and have our own weather station, which costs around $500. Although I did notice on an app on my iPad, the weather station does report
Sky Valley.
the Sky Valley and Dillard. They're separate. The temperatures are different. If somehow we could connect those two, and I think we can do it. I just don't know
Hey,
how.
can you guys hear me? Because I can't hear nothing. I see you can hear me.
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can hear you, Doug.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Gordon, that I have Weather Station. I have the Weather Station app on my iPad and iPhone. And yes, you can pull up Sky Valley, the specific Sky Valley weather forecast and radar.
Yes. And if somehow we could put that on, and I think no way to do it. I don't have to do it, but I believe there's a way of doing that so we can report it in terms of our webcam.
Well, maybe we can ask the company if they can include that somehow in the broadcast. I don't know. I don't know how to do it either.
Jim Curtis, you had a comment earlier, sent me an email earlier on that subject.
Yeah, it had to do with a conversation I had with Phil Hamilton regarding the survey. And he's volunteered to take another crack at getting our Sky Valley weather reports into the Atlanta area. He certainly knows what doesn't work. He's also asking for ideas as to how to approach these guys. So I guess we should put on our thinking cap if we actually have a weather station that could broadcast something independent.
Well, the Weather Channel does do that,
Yes.
Jim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can an Atlanta weather report take it off of a website like that? Or would they want to? Or I don't know where their information comes from.
I'm not sure what you're asking, Jim.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just bringing everybody up to date in that we've got a volunteer to take on the project. But he's sort of run out of ideas as to how to do it. He's been involved in it in the past and he thinks it's important. And he volunteered.
Well, I have seen Sky Valley reported on some of the Atlanta news stations, but of course they're not going to report every city, in their area's weather.
No, right.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's why I was saying I wasn't understanding what you were asking.
Okay. I mean, the point is that our weather in the summer is a lot cooler than anywhere else in the state. So it'll always
True.
be the low reading.
Right.
And that's really good publicity.
True. True.
And they're looking for extremes, I would think. So there's a little variety in it.
True. Well, it surely wouldn't hurt to ask some of the television stations. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The technical hurdle that has to be taken over is that Rabun County is not in the weather area for Atlanta. It's
That's
in
true.
the Greenville-Spartanburg area.
Right.
So
Right.
that's going to be a large hurdle to get over politically, how Atlanta will report weather from another region.
Well, there are some websites that already do it. I don't think we have to ask a TV station to do anything special. Somebody had mentioned weather.com. If you type in weather.com, you can type in Sky Valley or read out of what the temperature is. Also, AccuWeather.com does the exact same thing. And then I'm not real familiar with underground weather, there is somebody out there that reports Sky Valley temperature. Probably other residents do it as well. So I don't think we have to go and ask some TV station to do it specifically. I think it's out there, and maybe we can just, I don't know, piggyback on what they're doing. That's why I think what we need, yes, somebody to appreciate Jim's friend wanted to do some research, but some research by someone who knows where to go and knows how we can access it. And if we're not the demographic to do that, then do we know anybody who can or will? Or even if we aren't the demographic, will somebody take it upon themselves to say, I'm going to track down what's available and how do we access it? How do we put it on our website? So is anybody willing to do that?
Jim, do you want to work? I can work with your friend on this. I think it's important. Jim, you have your contact?
Yes, absolutely.
I think I'll work with him on it the best we can on this. I have an interest
Okay.
in it.
I will convey that to him and ask him about the little expansion to what he volunteered for.
Yes, yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm
And
optimistic.
I think at this point, once we determine that, I believe we can get access and put that information on the webcams and onto our website. I think that can be done. So just
Okay.
talking to the people, how to do it, but I believe it's doable. So in terms of our webcam, I believe it can be done. So it's just how to do it and getting the correct information in terms of the weather.
Okay.
And
Now,
Gordon,
since the-
would you and Harry also get whatever you need, formal approval or from the club board, that we can go ahead and mount it on top of their building? I mean, I know you've had some discussions, but Holly made a point,
Yes.
do we actually have authorization to do that?
Yeah, we'll
yes,
talk about it. We've got a board meeting next Monday. We'll make sure that's okay.
Okay, awesome. And thanks to Harry too for making arrangements for the 2 golf riders that are going to come in October.
Thank
Have
you.
a place to stay with one of the local property owners. Okay, anything else about the webcam? Because once we get these questions answered,
Yeah.
I think we should go ahead and make the buy. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah. Back to the subject of controlling the webcam. If we're having special events
What do
or
you mean
special,
about
would we have
the webcam?
would we have the ability to change the program of sweeping and zooming in and out to take advantage of, certain events that might be going on? Something on the pond, 4th of July, the Sid Weber golf tournament.
Answer your questions, yes, based on my discussion. And each of the areas, since we have 3 entities at this time, the city, the POA, and of course this, each of them times and views, you can put on a short description of what you're doing. Yes. That
Cool.
can be happen based on the conversation, yes. And that would be through their corporate people, yes.
Cool. So we could presumably show something unusual, like setting up the hay bale decorations.
Exactly right. If we can zoom in on it, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. That's what's so nice to have some local contact, to work around this, which we have.
I think
Yes.
that was a great
Cool.
idea, Jim, especially, our wonderful fireworks display. That's always wonderful to see
Mhm.
too. That'd be a great idea.
Yes, very good idea. So I guess at this point, we'll get the approval from the club. What else do we need to do to, proceed? And I assume once we get that done, then the city would go ahead and issue the order. I assume, how does the structure work? Contact the webcam? How do we go about purchasing it?
Well, my first suggestion would be you're the main contact with them. Tell them we want one. What do we need to do with them? And then if all we need is an invoice, we can have that sent to Ella and get it paid for.
I agree.
Thank you.
That
Who
includes
works for the city?
that would include the Cat 5 and the pole and all the rest of it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's try to make all that happen. So by next time we meet, it's all a done deal, and we're just waiting for it to issue the order, issue the invoice, whatever.
Okay.
Because we'd
One
like to get it going.
One
Go
last
ahead.
question. Excuse me, Bob, one last question. Who will be our contact as to what changes or edits we want to have the company do? Who's our contact?
Right now, the contact, I'll have to clarify that. I just had the contact for the sales of it, so we'll just have to go through. I'll ask Mike, and Mike Doble is the contact right now I've been working with, and I'm not sure who that
All
would
right.
be.
Who would be the Sky Valley contact, Gordon? Would that be you?
I would guess it would be me. Yes,
Okay,
unless you want
Great.
someone within the city. Yes.
great with me.
Okay.
Yep, great. Gordon, you have done an amazing job. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks.
Jumping backwards, is Doug, are you still on?
Yeah, man, I'm finally got everything working. I apologize.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of reverberation.
Geez, I mean, it's a long story. I won't even go into it, but I will figure this thing out. So I apologize, but couldn't hear a lot of it, but I appreciate it. So whatever you need me to say, if you want me to go over everything, what I need to do, or whatever you want me to do there, Robert.
Just give us a 5-minute update.
5-minute update. Okay, let's see here. What, let me see, hang on just real quick here. Now what I do. All right. The monthly email to the different states around the Southeast continues to go out. Plus that includes about 5,000 companies and 4,000 media that's going to hopefully help us. That's about 50,000. Those are things, again, that we just continue to do with the great looking ad. So the newsletter with Sky Valley at the top will be going out this week. That should reach over about 200,000 people, and that's everybody from the East Coast, from pretty much the Midwest again to New England, all the way down to Florida and around. So little things like that continue to help. Had the golf writer, Bill Bauer, came up and played some golf with some residents up there. I certainly appreciate that. He absolutely loved everything. And we'll be reporting on that soon, and I'll be able to show you what he writes. He's a part of the National Golf Writers Association, so that's a big deal. If you're a part of that, you have a lot of clout. I will be up there in the beautiful, highest and coolest city tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Entertaining Glenn Drake and a couple of his people who work for him. Going to play golf. He owns one of the largest real estate companies in Georgia. We have been working with them, that now Sky Valley is a part of the real estate program that we do. So the idea, as I've mentioned before, is to get a lot of his agents up there. So we're working on that through his marketing person, but Glenn's the owner, and that's why I wanted to get him up there to see what there is, up there. And, so he'll be able to go back. The idea of doing this, if certainly through the owner, will certainly help, but also, getting his agents up there hopefully later this fall is to be able to tell people, hey, we're looking for a place up in North Georgia. Hey, well, you know, we partner with Sky Valley. So that's, you know, that's the idea, to let them know what we have available up there. So I'm excited about that. And I think Your Honor and Ed are coming over to meet us just to say hello tomorrow. So that will be good. The golf travel writers are coming up October 7th. A great couple, again, I think I mentioned to you. They're out of Arizona. They do stuff worldwide. I've known them for a long time, and they have a huge outreach. 23,000 Instagram followers, which is huge. You go on their website and see what all they do, but they will be able to see everything, not only golf, but the community, which they'll help with real estate. They're going to have dinner that night. And so Bob and Bill and everybody's been working hard to try to find them a place. So we certainly appreciate them doing that. I'm sure they'll be excited. I probably will come up. They're going to be seeing a few of the trail members while they're here for about 10 days in Georgia. So I will probably come up and be with them that 7th. Right now, that's the plan. So excited about that. And then they have a lot of media outlets. So when they get back, they will write the articles and then send them out to their different media partners. And then that will continue to come out over the fall, probably some in the winter, which is good. We don't want everything coming out at one time. So Steve Denberg, the photographer, is coming up the 22nd and 23rd. He is spending the night as well, so he can get shots of all day, evening shots, morning shots. I will be back up there with him on the 22nd to kind of help him and show him around, even though he's been there, talked to Bob. And then again, he's doing all this for free. No cost to us, and he's just going to put together a presentation, as I mentioned before, to the marketing committee. So for a possible, contract and job over the next year or so that we can use, it will be our photos. So again, Steve's a good friend of mine, so he's not charging us anything for his time. So good month, a lot of things coming up, continuing to come up, and very excited. I'm here in Sky Valley quite a bit now, and the word's getting out there. We have some things on the block that will be coming up over the next few months that are always going to be new. We will always continue to do the same things so we can get the word out there to a lot of people. And we're going to be working on some things in and around Atlanta. I have a new golf travel writer that is around Atlanta, so he's going to be able to come up and go back and write different newspaper articles, different website articles. So I'm excited about that as well. So good month. And so if anybody's got any ideas, questions, anything like that, please let me know how I can help.
Doug, what time would you like us to meet you tomorrow, and where?
Holly, just right there in the Pro Shop Clubhouse.
Okay.
Just the parking lot. I'm probably going to get up there about 10:30. We tee off at 11:20. So granted, everything's right there.
Okay.
So yeah, and again, just to say hi and appreciate it. I've already told him. So, but this is a great opportunity, and I'm very excited that he had the time to do this and is bringing a couple other people that's going to be able to help him. And so we just want to show him what a wonderful community you have up there, and go back and tell other people. And I will be talking to him further about what other things we can do through his company to promote Sky Valley. So
Great.
Again, Holly, thanks for.
No problem. I will wear my mayoral sash and crown if you think it'll help.
Yeah, hey, whatever works for you. If you have a crown or whatever,
Sure.
Your Honor, that would be great. So thank you
I'll
very
wear
much
my
for
chauffeur's
taking the
hat.
time out to do it.
Yeah. I heard that, Ed. Did you hear Ed?
No, I was over talking my loud voice. I did not hear Ed.
I just said I would wear my chauffeur's hat tomorrow.
Ed, I have a feeling that might be true. So I guess. Well, thank you
that's right.
again, and I appreciate everything. And I will keep in touch. Bob and I talk on a regular basis, and so certainly appreciate all the people that's reaching out and helping. And again, you know, I'm here to help and go out, but please, if you got any ideas or anything like that you want to discuss, please reach out to me.
We'll be there.
Thank you.
There's a website discussion. We got a lot of things that we're going to be trying to do, and talked a little bit about it a time or two ago. Is it possible that the person we have who did the website and could make changes, updates, or incorporate the webcam or even drone footage or whatever into it? Is it possible for her to attend?
Yes,
one of our
I did.
meetings?
Yeah, I did. I talked to our creative design that did our website. Now I talked to her about the adding the weather and the webcam as well. She gave me a price, maybe about $600 or $700 to insert those. They have to go in and do some programming on that. So that was the price that she gave me. She said it'd take 2 to 3 hours. So.
Okay. Does she need to sit in with us to hear what we're talking about, or?
No, she asked for details. I told her the information that we were looking at. Now, once y'all pin down a weather site, I'll need that information to give it to her, because the last understanding I had that we were going with like Weather Underground, but I give her the name of the company that Gordon had provided us with the webcam. She was familiar with them, but she said once we get the information, they can work with us and get it done for us.
All right, that's good news.
And hey, just as soon as we get that, we will plaster that everywhere. It will be included on everything we write about Sky Valley. We want people to click on that link and see that webcam, you know, 365 days a year. So once we get that and have that simple link, we will share that with as many people as we can.
Great.
And appropriate temperature readout that shows our advantages.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The highest and coolest city, especially, you know, this summer when it was, you know, 98 degrees in Atlanta, and it's, you know, 70, 75, 79 up here. That is really going to speak, as opposed to just saying it. Here's data that backs it up. So these modern technology changes we're making, I think, will make a big impact. Okay, Holly had sent out, appreciate her doing the work, information from her friend who does promotional videos, and I forwarded the, well, I think Holly did it actually, forwarded the budget for it. I noticed, Holly, in your email to your friend that we may have to postpone it a while because of money. Did everybody get a chance to look at that?
Yes.
No? Yes, maybe so. All right. Holly, if I may, it seems like the proposals are out of our budget, certainly at this time. I don't know about next year. So
When I talked
we
to
need
her,
to talk a
Bob.
little bit about.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. When you talk
I just wanted to say, when I talked to her, I told her that this was, you know, we were burgeoning into the marketing area, and that it would probably not be till next year that we would make a decision for a commercially made video about Sky Valley, and she understood that. In
Right.
addition, I think that we
Yeah.
need to look into the local guy that, you know, we talked about, Bob, when we went to the Rabun County Visitor Center, that they had
Right.
working with them. I think it'd be great to get a quote from him too. Now, Shayna,
Yeah.
Shayna, who did these quotes, she gave us 3 different quotes. I don't know if you
Right.
all had a chance to look at that. She's very good. But then again, I do think we need to get another quote.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure she does great work. She did great work even on the proposals. There were 3 different proposals at 3 different price points,
Right,
ranging from just under 12,000 to almost 19,000.
right.
And as we all know, we don't have the funds for that. And I agree. As a matter of fact, I went back through our papers from our visit with Forward Raymond, and that guy, you know, I can make contact to and just say, you know, what can you do for us, and so on.
Right.
So in any event, a second opinion as far as money goes would be great. So sounds like a good thing to do. Sounds like this is a bit further down the road,
Right.
particularly from a funds standpoint. Okay, I guess it's over to me. Yeah,
Bob,
yeah.
the one thing I didn't understand about the proposal was, do we just have to pick one of those now, or is there or would we be able to do the least expensive option first, see how that looks? If that's satisfactory, fine. And then if we wanted to add the rest of it on later, is that a possibility?
Oh, sure. Sure, that's a possibility with her. Yes.
Okay, so she's
She
very
will
flexible.
modify it any way that we wish to do it.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Also, that her proposal included a different kind of video to be used on social media also.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, I guess it's back to me now. I sent out an email a week or so ago. We talked about it last time, about trying to have as much as you could at this point, an estimate of what each of the entities, city, POA, club, would be willing to contribute to the marketing plan for next year. Because by the time we meet next, it's going to be October. Most entities are putting their budgets together or have done it already for next year by October, November. And we need to just talk about in general a couple of things about what do we want to do. Now, as of right now for money, Ella kindly forwarded the marketing account statements. I sent those to everybody. And as of the date of this, which was, looks like September 4th, we had a balance of, it's about 14,600.
Yep.
Now, from that, we still have to deduct the months for, there's a monthly payment for, I think that's October, November, and December. We have the Mountain Traveler Fall edition and the Lake Living edition that we kind of committed to a while ago. So that totals up to be about $2,800, $25. So we have some funds, but we have to be judicious in the spending. And there's one other thing I'll talk about in a few minutes. And
Bob, how much was the estimate for the camera and so forth? That'll have to go in here too, right?
$6,000.
Right.
6,000 plus be some change now for installation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Do you have an idea what that is?
No, we had estimated 350. We thought the city would be able to doing that. So we'll have to find out what that cost is.
Okay.
I'm going to say $500-600, no more than $1,000, $500-600. My estimate.
Well, if we deduct the upcoming expenses we know are coming, we'll have 11,900. Take 6,000 for the camera, that makes it about 5,900. Take another, I put in $600 for the installation, so that'd be about 53, a little bit over $5,300 left. And then I want to be judicious and maybe hold on to it with the exception of, I did a little research and wanted to update the billboard down at the bottom of the hill, down on 441. And surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, the update that came through in these marketing survey questions. So people are like, yeah, that thing needs to be changed as well. Now, to change the image of that is $600, which was cheaper than I thought it would be. They will do 3 revisions of the image until they get it right, and then install it for $600. So we could either go ahead and get that going so it's in place by the winter, or hold off. What do you have as opinions of that? Anybody? Say what you need to say.
In addition, Bob, what about, don't forget, are we buying more stickers? That's not on the subject.
Oh, well, okay, we have more stickers,
Okay.
and Forward Raven paid for it.
Oh, great.
So
Okay.
500 of the oval stickers and 500 bumper stickers, and they've already paid. They're being paid by. I'm assuming the check went to Happy Town or Happy Press, whatever, Happy Jack. But yeah, that's already paid for.
Great.
Now, it's not that we couldn't get more, but I'm thinking we probably have. We want to put those in the welcome bags, but I think we have enough to do that. I want to distribute them to the residents, maybe something similar to what the POA does, set a time, sit down at the club and hand out a couple to each of the residents. But we don't have to make those decisions today, but that's the plan. One of the things is that the POA did print up little goodie bags for giveaway, and they look good. And I communicated with Ed that maybe we could partner marketing group with the POA and split it with them and then use them when we need them. And I'm going to explain one thing where I'm suggesting we use them. By the way, Ed, do you know how much that would be if we split them with you?
Oh, yeah, I've got the prices here. I've already got the bags in too.
Good. Do you give us a ballpark of what half of
And I bought
would
some
be?
peach jelly to put in each one. So we're ready to distribute. When will the stickers be available?
Well, I sent you an email an hour ago.
Okay.
Tuesday. So if we went handies on the bag, how much would it be ballpark?
Happy's on the bag be about $75.
Oh, wow. That's cheaper than a trip to Burger King.
Just about. We got a real
All right.
bargain on those.
All right, well, you and I can work on that outside of this so we can save some time.
Certainly.
All right, so. now,
Hey, can I stop real quick? Hey, Ed, I don't know if you have something we can give these guys tomorrow. I don't even know if we have I think we did a brochure or a pamphlet or something that talks
I'll
about.
get hold of some of those packets, the POA packets. And
Okay,
I'll try to get a couple or 3 or 4 bags like this and put those things in it.
okay, anything we can, so we can give it to them tomorrow. I didn't even think about that. I was gonna
I
give
can
them
do that.
stuff, for coming up, but then I didn't even think about giving them something that shows what Sky Valley is all about. So
Right.
if we could put those together and bring them tomorrow, I'd be good. So maybe 3 of them.
See if we can get
All
that
right,
done. We'll try to get it
Ellen,
done.
do we still
Thanks,
Are
Ed.
there still any copies of the Mountain Traveler magazine at the City Hall?
There's a few here, I believe. Since our door's been closed, I think we still do have a few here.
Right, Doug,
Ed.
if you would, swing to City Hall tomorrow, pick up a copy of the Mountain Traveler magazine that has the article and our ad, and show that to him as well.
We can put it in the, yeah.
We
How
can
can I-
even include a copy of the new Laurel magazine that highlights the mayor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
What's it? What's the
Also-
moral?
One other thing, Steve Hare may have a few items left over from that Mississippi crowd he could throw in that bag.
Okay. But hey, how can Ella, do you want me to come by the office there?
Just come by City Hall, just knock on the door and they'll hand them to you.
Okay, that'd be great. So I can have that blocked off so they can see the article and ad there on Sky Valley. So,
Okay.
okay, thanks.
How many do you need?
Well, no, I need one. That'd be great. So it'd be 4.
Okay,
And-
I
and-
think we maybe have that many. I'll double check and make sure.
If not,
Pull 'em
if-
to the side, yeah.
give me what you got. I
Okay.
mean, give me a couple or whatever. That's
Okay.
fine. We need to get it in.
And
So,
also, a week or so ago, I sent out the digital connection to it. So the whole magazine went to all of you.
Yeah.
right.
And you can
No,
flip
it
through
looked good.
Got it.
That won't help giving it to Drake, but if you
Yeah, I
want
can
to know
send
what's in
him
there,
that. Maybe he can
you
send
have it in your
after we
inboxes.
Talk about it.
Okay,
get-
so we
Can we
talked
get
about
some
the
of the
funds.
stickers?
Yeah, do we,
I-
Ed, does
I'll
that have
have the-
stickers in
oh,
it?
yeah.
Doesn't sound like you have any.
No.
I'll
No?
have them Tuesday.
Okay, well, never mind about the stickers. Whatever you got, Ed, that'd be
We'll
good.
get it. We'll get some things to put in there.
Okay, thank you, buddy.
All right, going back to the monies. I did get a response from the club. They're looking at between 3,500 and 7 grand, but they need some documentation of what we've done already and what our plan is for next year. I'll work on that between now and the next meeting. I'll be happy to put that together and send it to anybody else that needs it. But we want to get commitments as early as we can. And some of that is going to be, what are we planning on doing with the money? You know, we went into 2020 just like, hey, give us what you got. We'll do what we can with what we've got. But now we've got a few months we can plan and decide upon. So I've been looking at the survey results. The majority is, as you can imagine, the majority of homeowners have been here, for a long time. Most people are aware of Sky Valley because of visits with family, friends, or they came up and rented or stayed in the timeshares, what have you. The next thing that is pretty popular is real estate websites. They mentioned specifically Zillow, Realtor.com, and so on, some of the biggies. Somebody mentioned, of course, POTS Realty, but that was one of the big areas where people learned about us. And that's quite frankly how I learned about us, from real estate websites. Social media, people mentioned social media, but they didn't really say too much about what social media and where did they get it from. So there were some suggestions of things we could do. Of course, they mentioned updating our signage was mentioned several times, billboards and the signs up the mountain, which where we've talked about. I've gotten contact information from Ella, so those are already on our to-do list, so to speak. There was a mention in here that we should all use the coordinated logo as much as possible. And I've asked, it's available to everybody. Not that we're going to supplant, because the club has their own logo. I think it's great. And it's on the signs coming up the hill and at our entrance, and I think that's great. I do like the fact that it's now showing up on our monthly email newsletter that comes out. But whatever possible, let's give it as uniform a look as possible, because that's how you brand something. That's how you're going to brand Sky Valley community that people will recognize. So again, if you can, let's do that. There were some other ideas that I will summarize because there were quite a lot of different information in here.
Bob?
Yes.
Bob, I'm sorry. I think I got us off track about the stickers, but I don't think we ever talked about whether we need to go ahead and change that billboard now for the $600 or not.
Well, that's the plan,
Yeah,
to make that, highest and coolest city.
yeah.
I mean, are we good at spending that money at this point? Because I am.
I think it's a good idea.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll work with the lady to get a coordinated image. They'll make one and review it and do that. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then from there, Ella gave me the contact information for those other smaller signs that say your new home base,
Yeah,
which we're not going to do that, but we could certainly. Oh, another thing that people have said about those signs coming up the hill or the mountain are that the leaves need to be trimmed away, and maybe possibly put some lighting on it. I don't know if we get a little solar light or something that would bring attention to it, because they're kind of fading into the background, part of which because they're somewhat overgrown. They're not majorly overgrown, but somewhat. Perhaps workers could go and trim them all. I think there's 2 of them. There's one at the foot of the mountain by the billboard, and I'm not sure that's overgrown, but the ones that are on the right-hand side going up probably could be trimmed back. And then I'll contact the guy that Ella gave me the information and see if we could get posters to go over those other ones of the right size, and see what that would cost us. Okay, well, I'll update on that. Now, other things you want to think about for next year, because I've done that. What is our plan for next year? Now, some things we got to continue. We got to continue, Doug, because we're in a year contract. There's some magazines we want to stay involved. I think The Traveler's a good one. Jamie brought up Hawk, and I think I sent that out to everybody because they put out a very nice book. They even had a write-up that they just did about Sky Valley, and they just called it the highest city in Georgia. And Jamie recommended a full-page ad in their book, and POS is one that is often mentioned in the survey. It's $895 for a full-page ad. We could go ahead and do that, because I think once we pay for the webcam and the installation and pay for the billboards, we probably have enough money to do that. But I didn't want to make that call all on my own. It's a pretty big book. It's almost a 100-page book. Go ahead.
It's $850, not $895.
Okay.
I'm sorry, $850. All right.
I recommend we do that.
I do too.
Okay,
Yes.
do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think, I
All
went
right,
through
so
that.
we'll run costs, billboard, road signs.
Both.
Anything? What was that?
I recommend we do both.
Right. Yeah.
I concur.
I'm just making a list for, because I have a to-do list that I work on aside from sitting here too. So I want to make sure I don't forget anything. I sent out something that Harry came across, which was a brochure on the retreat at Sky Valley. And it has nothing to do with us. Harry called them and I called them, and they're selling property up in Franklin, and sounds good for them. I may one of these days try to go up there and see the place, but it's in Franklin, And Harry and I both thought that they were mentioned in Sky Valley, so all the better. It's kind of free publicity for us. Now, there was a homeowner that sent out some ideas for 2021, and it was some really good ideas. I'm pretty sure I sent it out quite a while ago, something like that. And some things we want to consider. So when we get together the next time, we really need to say, hey, these are things we probably really should consider doing for next year. Because I've got to document, certainly for the club and for everybody else, not only what we've done, but what do we want to do? Because hopefully what we've done this year, there's a lot more belief and faith in what we're doing as a marketing group versus what was done in the past. Because people were not happy with how money was spent or documented or whatever, before they quit giving. And I think we've gotten a lot of people's faith back, because a lot of the comments in the survey were, we like what you're doing. I've gotten emails, keep it up, particularly from property owners, because they want to rent out their places. But one of the ideas I really liked on this thing was a food truck event. Now, this was for 4th of July next year, but think about the idea, maybe we want to see if we can do a food truck event for the fall, where we don't have to do anything with it. We just contact food trucks that come in, maybe to go along with Fall Fest, if there's anything going to be done with Fall Fest. So I just thought that was a possibility. And if you can go back, read this, if you need, I can send it out again. But we've got to come back in next time with specific ideas that we can discuss of what we're going to do, possibly how much it's going to cost, so we can detail our plan. People like, I know if I was going to invest in something, I would want to know what the plan is. I used to tell my students that if you ask me for money, yeah, okay, that sounds like a good idea. But if you ask me for my money, wait a minute. I want a lot of detail. So that's kind of what we have to do. That's really all I wanted to discuss on this meeting. Is there anything else that everybody has on their agenda or has come up or feel good about or don't feel so good about?
Just back to that ad. So you want me to go ahead and reserve a full page ad, number one. Number two, do you want to use an ad we have already used in the Mountain Traveler?
Yes. Yeah, Jamie, why don't you and I communicate outside of this, and I'll get you the ad, and we won't have to keep everybody tied up.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
All right. Got an ad already made we can use. Go ahead. Next one.
Well, I was just going to address that very issue, Bob. As you look at the POS thing, the price point for a lot of those homes is up around the $5 million range. And I think a lot of the people that grab that are looking for something less expensive. And if there's a polite way to explain that you don't need, $3 million to buy in Sky Valley, I think that would be a real plus, because I think a lot of people that pick up that magazine are oohing and eyeing over the big houses, but that's not exactly what they're looking for. Whereas Sky Valley might.
Well, it seems like they had a section. It seems like they had a section for Sky Valley, and maybe we could add to the ad something that very affordable or relatively affordable or something. And that is one of our advantages. We are much more affordable than many other places. So the good point, Jim. I'll work with Jamie on POS on doing something along those lines.
Okay.
All right. Now, next meeting. How about we do October 8th, Thursday, 4 weeks from today at 10?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Harry, your
Sounds like
form
all
is
in favor.
upside down.
Do what?
Harry was posting something upside down.
Oh,
No, I was just making a note of that date.
all right. Well, thank you, everybody. And again,
Thank you.
thanks
We-
particularly to Gordon and his team for really doing a great job in documenting the webcam.
One more time, what was that date?
October 8th.
October 8th, thank you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for, as they say on TV, thank you for playing.
Thank you.
We'll see you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.